Two significant earthquakes and other aftershocks have brought devastating impacts to portions of Venezuela. Hi friends, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. We are your home for Caribbean weather, and it's nice to see you on this Thursday. We are going to begin today's video with what's been happening, the latest on the twin earthquakes and the aftershocks that have just absolutely rocked Venezuela over the past 18 hours or so since yesterday evening. Two earthquakes, both over 7 in magnitude, one 7.2, one 7.5. Unfortunately, bringing other devastation to a lot of Venezuela, including Caracas and the coastal areas like La Guaira. It's just unfortunately been a situation where each passing hour, the news gets worse out of this, with complete destruction in some areas. Our thoughts and our prayers are with our friends in Venezuela. If you guys know anyone who lives in that area, let us know how things are going. If you live in that area, obviously we would love to check on you guys. Please let us know in the comment section below how things are. But obviously this is a situation that is going to be felt long and wide across this area. If there's one piece of information that is okay out of all of this, and there's not much, it's that there was no tsunami produced out of those earthquakes. There was that opportunity and that potential yesterday, but we didn't see it in the ABC Islands, even though we had advisory for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, never came to fruition. So that's the one piece of good news out of all of this, but obviously the destruction of Venezuela is of paramount importance, and again, our thoughts and our prayers are with our friends there. We'll move on to what's happening weather-wise across our area for today. We have more fresh winds across the region. Now, again, you're getting all of your watches, warnings, marine advisories scrolling at our information hub on the bottom of your screen. You want your 5-day forecast? I got that for you guys down below as well. Want to start off with what's happening with our surface analysis. We're starting to get fresher winds and rain over portions of the Caribbean, like the Dominican Republic, because we have a tropical wave axis moving through. A secondary wave in the Western Caribbean, providing a good few showers and storms there. A decaying front in North Florida is also going to bring some wind and rain chances to places like north side of the Bahamas and into Bermuda as well. But let's start off with what the rain and wind is bringing to our Caribbean areas. I'm going to bring on the wind gusts in miles an hour. That's the temperatures you'll see first, and then we'll bring on the winds. I do want to get into what's happening right now in the Dominican Republic, because this is of utmost importance. They've had flooding rains the last couple of days, and this tropical wave axis is right over the island, and it's really promoting some hefty thunderstorms on this Thursday afternoon. Again, you're going to find a lot of flood advisories for the Dominican Republic down at the bottom of your screen. 2 to 3+ inches, more than 75 millimeters expected in some spots. The thunderstorms develop along the south coastline from Santo Domingo towards Punta Cana, San Pedro de Macorís, and has worked their way inland, where again, higher elevation leads to some flash flooding of low-lying areas. Thunderstorms now from the Samana Peninsula up towards Puerto Plata. So it's an important, serious situation in the Dominican Republic with days of rain and additional heavy thunderstorms today. So a lot more widespread flash flooding opportunities. We've seen some scattered showers sneak into the western sides of Puerto Rico. It's been a very windy day, elevating the sea conditions across the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico as well. Ponce, Christian said, have more than 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts from time to time. Really fresh breezes across the area. It may not spell a lot of shower activity in these spots, but again, we are fighting some Saharan air. I mentioned it in the last video. You've got the plume of moisture coming in from the tropical wave, but on either side, we're bracketed by some thick areas of dust. So it's kind of a mix today. It's hazy sunshine, pockets of moisture coming in, providing a few scattered showers out there. The rain total shouldn't be significant outside of the Dominican Republic and portions of Haiti today, but I can't rule out some brisk passing showers in the Lesser Antilles, especially up to the northern side of the Leeward Islands, to go along with some fresh winds. There's more small craft advisories in this area for today, especially in the exposed waters of the Atlantic. And again, that information down at the bottom of your screen. But Anguilla, St. Barts, Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat should all be prepared for some really big swells, especially in the exposed waters. Scattered showers possible today. Guadeloupe, Dominica down towards Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados continue with small craft advisories there as well. Wave heights could reach 3+ meters. Open waters, east southern sides of those islands. We've had more moisture trying to sneak back into this area as well over the past couple of days. From time to time, we've had a surge of moisture coming out of the south and east. Better rain chances for places like TNT and Grenada. It's still been spotty, but we've had some locally decent rain. If you guys live in these areas and you've had some of those passing showers, please let me know in the comments section below. Again, good news in the ABC Islands as far as no additional wave and tsunami threat here. A few passing showers are possible, otherwise a relatively quiet day. I would expect a couple of showers and a rumble of thunder to develop late this afternoon, mainly in the western parishes of Jamaica, Westmoreland, Hanover parishes, Montego Bay, Lucy Negril, maybe down to Savlamar. Your best opportunity for a scattered shower or storm. But the axis of tropical moisture with the wave in the western Caribbean, a little bit farther west from Jamaica, scattered rain possible in the Cayman Islands for today, including Grand Cayman. Better rain chances Panama, Costa Rica, but improving rain chances today as well for the northern sides of Honduras, including the Bay Islands and Roatan. Scattered storms are already developing across portions of Belize, along the coast and even inland towards San Ignacio or just to the east, and the southern sides of Quintana Roo. I wouldn't expect more than an isolated shower for Cancun and Cozumel for today. Again, a decaying front just north of the Bahamas, bringing some scattered showers and storms. Now, what has been the case is these storms have been firing off the peninsula of Florida and then kind of developing just north of the Bahamas, but at least a limited opportunity today for places like Walker's Key, Grand Bahama, the Abacos, and Bimini. I'm not going to rule out a thunderstorm over Andros, New Providence, and Eleuthera, but it's a slightly better chance the farther north that you go. But overall, rain chances in these areas should improve a bit as we move ahead. Now, the next big story is going to be that Saharan air layer that I've mentioned, a huge plume of dust moving through. Take a look at this monstrous Saharan air layer that will just envelop our area through the rest of the week and into the weekend. This is going to undercut rain chances, and that is a high concentration of Saharan dust that will hold together all the way into the Western Gulf. So as we get towards the weekend, this pushes into the Western Caribbean and Mexico, some of that over the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Cuba, maybe even South Florida. You'll know it when it's in your area. The hazy sunshine, respiratory sufferers is going to be a little bit more of an issue. And again, a few scattered showers embedded within this, but overall kind of undercutting the opportunity for some scattered showers and a rumble of thunder in that area. Okay, friends, as we get into the rest of the forecast, if you guys wouldn't mind taking a quick second and hitting that subscribe button for me, I really would appreciate that. Thanks for liking the channel as well. Appreciate our members. And again, I hope you're getting something out of this. If you do, the quick like and subscribe really supports the channel very much. Gonna throw on the marine forecast. And again, this is 25 major ports, areas of interest, fishing interest. You get your tidal information for our fishermen. You get the maximum wave heights, water temperatures as well. So let's get into what's going to be happening potential tropical wise over the next 5 to 10 days and a little bit beyond that as well. Look, at this point in time, the Caribbean is still cut off. We still have vast, strong easterlies, not providing any opportunity for development. Our tropical waves are getting slightly better organized in the Atlantic Basin, still low latitude. We're still not into August yet. We've still got more than a full month for these tropical waves to really have more of an impact. But you can clearly see along the intertropical convergence zone and just to the north, better wave situation there and a little bit more organization. Close to home in El Nino, what I mean by that is in our northwest areas, this is where we always kind of keep a close eye on. Remember, we already had Tropical Storm Arthur. Well, some of the models continue to try and produce the opportunity for a tropical system to develop off of the east coast of Florida. We're going to have generally trough conditions here, the jet stream dipping to the south, east of the Rockies in the United States, and that's going to allow what we call some frontogenesis to occur and potentially an area of low pressure or two to develop along those decaying fronts, just like you're seeing right now, although I don't expect anything in the short term. This would be next week. Now, the European ensemble continues to be the most aggressive with that potential development. This is the AI version of that, your AI version of the ensemble members, and you can see and you can solve through that loop that first few days of July through about the 7th or 8th, we're going to get a couple of signatures here on the European AI model, something I'll keep an eye on. The other models don't really hold on to it very much. We'll see if maybe the load develops inland or whether it develops off the coastline. I can show you on the ensemble members, the potential for that development is still around 40 to 50% through July 10th. And again, not expecting it through this week. Would see maybe a slight uptick in that potential based on how things play out for the week ahead. So I'll be monitoring that situation. Generally can discount the southwest side of the Caribbean for development this time of the year. It's basically just picking up on the Central American gyre, but the next hotspot is likely in the East Pacific. It's been busier than the Atlantic, obviously, and that could be where we have the next opportunity for our next named storm. At least here in the Atlantic, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening this week and potentially anytime soon. We'll see how that plays out off of the United States East Coast or maybe even into the Northeast Gulf. Regardless, could be a fairly wet forecast for the southeast side of the U.S. and into the northern Bahamas as we get into the early part of July. Okay, so what does the rainfall outlook look in our area? Well, again, you can clearly see that as our plume of Saharan dust moves through the next few days, begins to undercut a lot of the rain for the greater Antilles, back into the Bahamas as well. Still going to get some spin up of rain in the southwest side of the Caribbean that will wheel into places like the Bay Islands and Belize City. Scattered showers possible for the Cayman Islands and Jamaica. Nothing is very concentrated. The large wave and strong wind advisory continues, especially for the offshore waters, Pedro Morant Banks, 2 to 3 meter waves here and swells. A few scattered showers could cool things off, but nothing that's going to be highly concentrated, and that Saharan air is not going to help the situation. And again, in our south and east areas, like the Windward Islands, limited moisture coming through. Next tropical wave access won't arrive until the weekend. With that, slightly better rain chances I would expect as far north as maybe Martinique or Dominica, undercutting the rain chances up on the northern side of the island chain, the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. And for our friends of the Bahamas, you'll clearly see that next boundary trying to work its way south. Now, it's not a true cold front this time of the year. I know we had one very unusual one in early in June, but there will be a fair amount of moisture associated with this. So if you live in Freeport, Lucaya, New Providence, Nassau, back down towards the Acklands, even Grand Turk and Caicos, slightly better rain chances will be moving into your area for the weekend ahead. Rainfall totals over the next 5 days. Again, sporadic activity, but building a bit in the areas that I just mentioned, including the peninsula of Florida. There's your rain in the Dominican Republic that will continue to be an issue. Several inches possible each day. There's your higher totals back down into TNT in some spots. And there's the building rain chances up the Caribbean coastline of Central America. Everyone else, bigger impacts this week will be the Saharan air and the winds continuing to kick up the sea conditions. And based on that, look at these significant wave heights, which on our model, 8, 9, 10 plus foot significant waves. That's not peak wave activity, guys. That's basically the significant waves rolling through and what's going to be their maximums, which could easily be 2.5 to 3 meters plus. Still not bad for the Bahamas, but for the ABC Islands off towards the west, those could be some waves to keep an eye on. I would expect our information hub here to continue to provide you with some information as far as big time waves in those areas. Friends, I'm out of time. I do appreciate you making Meteo Mundo a part of your daily routine. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comment section below where you're viewing from, what the weather has been like. You got a question about the forecast, drop it in the comment section below. Again, our thoughts, prayers with our friends in Venezuela from the utter devastation from the earthquakes. I'll continue to monitor the situation and provide you guys updates. Friends, take care. I'll see you tomorrow with the latest forecast.